Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Hey, Sandy Wandy. Hey, Ben. Hey, Henny, you made it. Hi, Rolling Stone. Hi, Izzy. Yay. Good to see everybody. How are y'all doing? I may have a lot of interruptions or may have no interruptions. I have been dealing with the donkey all day. We've decided to put him in a different pasture with different animals, and it's not going very well. Hello, Huck. How are you? Huckleberry, Statler, Calhoun, Shoal. Good to see ya. Lord have mercy on us. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing all day, not having any damn fun. Hello, Miss D. Yeah. What made me think that was a good idea to get a donkey? It was okay until it wasn't. He is just he got the girl calf down, my little mini calf gnawing on her. He's just been tormenting everybody out there. Everybody. Yeah, they're cute, all right, until they're not. Yeah. Anyway. So, how's everybody's day going? What's everybody been up to? Y'all aren't going to make me do a meeting by myself, are you? I'm going to put that link up again. Anybody want to come in and talk? A Rolling Stone. Hey, the Midnight Show. Welcome. Nice to see you. So yeah, that's my story today. And I wish it was a different one. Now we know why we also call them the other word. Yeah, I really know that. I really know that. My day has been blowing like a cheap hooker. That was just why did I say that out loud? Oh my goodness. Oh, nice to see you. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I don't know if anybody's going to be joining me or not. You know I don't like to be a talking head. Henny, saved by you.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks. I was hearing about the donkey. I'm so sorry.
I am
Maybe,
too.
I don't know. I mean, you don't want to isolate him either, but can
No,
you train a donkey?
I don't know. He's 3 years old. I'm
I,
wondering if I got him snipped, if that would help.
I'm sure it would help.
That's what I'm thinking about.
It usually does.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe you could find out some information on donkeys or donkey care, you know what I mean, and see if that's an option,
Right.
you know.
Sunrise Dawn. Hello. Hi, Kristen Melinda. I'm glad you made you laugh. There are days like that. I've got food poisoning. No, Izzy. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks. Okay, that was what you were meaning. Okay, I asked if he was intact, meaning maybe he shouldn't be. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Let me get Plant Freak in here.
Yeah, that might calm him down, actually.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I know that happens with other animals that are spayed or neutered.
Right. You know, Sandy
They
Wandy, does
usually calm.
donkey? Go ahead. Go
No, go
ahead,
ahead,
Annie.
Cindy. No, I finished.
Oh,
What was Sandy Wandy saying?
does Donkey need a donkey friend? Well, if I could trust Donkey to have a friend and treat it like a friend, I'd say yes. But at this point,
He can't be trusted.
yeah.
He can't be trusted. Sorry, was he neutered already?
No,
No.
Okay.
no, he came intact. Hello, my other's keeper, Kim.
Hello, beautiful plant. Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
honey. How are you?
I'm
Good.
okay, thanks, honey.
Yeah,
I went to the
okay.
eye doctor's today,
How
so
did
my
that
eyes
go?
are dilated today. It
Oh,
went okay.
good.
I've already had cataract surgery, and so now I have floaters and stuff like that, but everything is okay.
Okay.
I can,
Good.
yeah, I can see.
Just uncomfortable for now, that's all.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I
Gotcha.
wanted to, yeah, do a little less typing, and I could do more talking.
Yes. Now that I have a laptop, the typing's easier.
Oh, good, good. You did get your laptop, huh?
I did. So the Office Depot, or like, I don't know what you guys have there, Office Depot or Staples, they had a huge sale. So I was like, okay, I can get a decent one. And of course, my internet sucks down here in my room. So I still use my phone and then type in the chat on the laptop.
Very good. I meant to ask you, did you get to see Dune?
I
Yeah,
did
I'm
not
impressed
get to
too.
see. I did not get to see it because I don't think I could have handled the crowds. I'll be honest.
Oh, okay.
When we got to the theater, the lineup was out the door. I was like, okay, can we leave? Can we leave,
Oh boy.
please?
Yeah, that's okay.
So I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks for it to slow down because
That's a good
me
idea.
and large crowds is just not something I want to manage right now. I figure
Yeah.
I have enough stress. I don't need to add that.
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
Huck,
That's why I shop early to avoid crowds.
Huck is
Yeah.
having trouble getting his prescription. He says, my pharmacy has decided to start policing my prescription out of some weird sense of power, and I've been crying all day.
Oh no.
And I'm wondering if there's an alternative or an alternative pharmacy even.
Oh my goodness.
Why would they do that? I mean, is it not the date?
Well,
Is it not the date
it
you're
says it's
supposed to pick it up?
OxyContin, though. That's the whole thing. I'm wondering, is that starting to be a controlled substance or something? You know?
They are starting to
I think
become
it
more
was.
strict in Canada with them, that's for sure. And it says for spinal cord damage, but there's nothing that I don't know enough about where you are, Huckleberry, but I know here they tried getting people off like every single prescription of opioid and put them onto something else like Suboxone. But Suboxone isn't always a painkiller, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's hit and miss on that.
Yeah.
So, what are they saying they are trying to do? Are they saying anything about what they're trying to do? Yeah, I'm surprised anybody's getting that these days.
It's the pharmacy, not even the doctor. So the pharmacy is starting to be picky about it.
It's been controlled for years. It's just the pharmacy, not even the doctor. Huh.
Oh my goodness. I wonder if there's anything the doctor can say to the pharmacy at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Goodness. I'm really sorry you're going through that.
Yeah, I am too.
Me too.
Yes.
No,
It's
living
not fun.
no, and
Living
living
with
with pain is
pain.
not something that people should do,
No, it
No.
isn't. I wish we had better means to deal with pain.
right? Well,
I really do.
we were lied to for a lot of years on whether opioids were addictive or not. So I feel like we lost time because of that to like figure out, you know, the pharmaceutical side to figure out what could be better.
Right. Right.
Goodness. Goodness.
Maybe so. Well, I am sorry. Hello, Mary Jones. They didn't fill it on Saturday because I didn't call them to talk to them about filling it after 20 years with no notice. So what now? Did they say, did you ask them and did they say what to do from here? Lordy.
Well, we're waiting for Huckleberry's response. I made it out for the second day consecutively on an 1.5-hour walk.
Nice.
And it was
Good
wonderful.
for you.
Nice.
Yay.
Found a nice path by the river here, and I end up downtown, which is, I see the back of downtown. So now I'm like, okay, so tomorrow when I go for the walk, I should try and like actually go in and see what there is. But I've just been enjoying the nature side of it, right beside the river. All of just the water sounds help so much.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, water sound is very medicinal for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. If I'm super emotional, even just a hot shower.
Yeah.
I just get into a hot shower. I can be there for 5 minutes, like not long.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a reset for my body.
Right. Well, just so you know, if I see a situation out there, I might have to go address it. But
That's fair.
there,
We understand.
I can't see everything. The barn kind of blocks some of my view.
Of course. And then he's probably getting smarter about hiding behind the barn too.
Maybe so. He's not dumb by any means. They filled it 3 days late. Their suggestion: have a caregiver talk to the pharmacy every month, a few days before it's due. It is really just a power flex.
I didn't know that a pharmacy can override a doctor's prescription unless they didn't have it.
Huh.
I think it's just the renewal thing. Like they want Huckleberry to call a few days before it's actually needed.
Okay.
But that's
actually
still,
have a caregiver call them or something.
Yeah.
When you say caregiver, does that mean like the nurse of your doctor or? Anyway, that's terrible.
No.
I'm sorry. I wish we had better stuff.
Yeah, and for medications like that, they shouldn't need, like, to me anyways, you know, they shouldn't need the extra days. It is a power flex. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Lordy. Well, Billy Bob's okay right now. Poor Billy Bob. He was one of the first ones to get jumped on by Jet.
And Billy Bob is going to be a goat, right?
Billy Bob is my pig. Sorry.
Okay, pig.
I thought he would just like, you know, ramrod him right through and it'd be done. But no, he was able to get the better of him. But he's nice and safe right now. He spent the morning kind of pouting in the corner of the barn.
Oh my goodness. Can the neighbor help? Maybe, you know, or do you need to take Jet to the vet or have a vet come to fix him?
We'll have to take him to the vet and have him, and hopefully hope that helps. And it's going to take a few months for all of that stuff to get out of his system, all that hormone, all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Before you do it, maybe call and be like, look, my donkey is aggressive. Will this help? If not, tell me something to do. I can't handle the aggressive donkey.
I find it infuriating when pharmacists try to override your doctors. My doctor knows me much better than the pharmacists. Yeah, Miss Sunrise Dawn. And they had it. They just won't fill it until I tell them I need it and justify it. Oh, man. Because providers have so much extra time to play games with the pharmacist. Yeah. Sadly, they do it here too, Ben says. There is a pharmacy that won't fill painkillers all the way. The pharmacist berates people for getting it. I'm sorry, it's like cancer and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Golly.
Terrible.
And Mary Jones says, I have to call to fill that type of medication every month myself. Isn't medicine that is automatically filled at my pharmacy. Okay. My pharmacy wants a renewal request only one time per quarter. It would make life a lot easier if I can have it on automatically filled. Yeah, I guess those things are with them being
Yeah.
controlled substance. They're not controlling it well. Let's just put it that way.
They were controlling it the wrong way. They're controlling it, that's for sure. They're
Yeah.
just controlling it the wrong way. Oh,
Today you could have my farm animals, Miss Sunrise Dawn,
especially Jet.
especially Jet.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness. Yeah.
What? Phone? I'm
Hmm?
on a POS bummer phone for the moment. I'll be listening. Okay. Plan free. I mean, Misha. Oh, so
Oh,
everybody's
dear.
had a day, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started feeling crappy and I'm like, no, I'm doing this walk thing. I'm just gonna go. Just gonna go. But I did learn my lesson. Put running shoes on. Don't wear, the boots that I was like, oh, it's gonna be muddy. I'm gonna wear the boots. No, I blistered the back of my foot, of course.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, how you going?
It's awesome. I can see you better.
Yeah.
Hi, Cosmic.
How are you
Hey, how
doing?
you going? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doing.
What's up?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
enough to have trimmed my own fringe terribly and given myself a haircut. So 2 weeks between a good hair or a bad haircut and a good haircut.
Oh.
I don't know. When I get a bit sad, I cut my hair.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just about me.
Okay.
Oh, what's happening there?
Oh, he came over on the weekend. I'm not sure. Have I been on since then?
No.
I don't know.
Well, I knew he was going to. I don't think you have.
Yeah, he came on Saturday. I had Mia's car seat. He's driving around with Mia and without a car seat. Illegal. Also dangerous. So I sort of said, sure, come get car seat and some mail. And I was hoping he'd pick everything up. He didn't. He left Mia's dollhouse here. And some of her other stuff of hers. He took all of his stuff.
Oh.
But he left stuff in the house that I think he's going to use as a way to get back in the house. Not like to stay, just a reason to visit again.
And it sounds like a reason to hurt you as well.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I've spoken about this a lot with my friends, and they've met him, lots of stuff, and they think he's too dumb to understand what he's doing.
Okay.
Which I think is probably likely because, not to say that he's stupid, but well, I don't like being mean like that, but I just don't think he's aware of exactly what he's doing. Because if he,
Are you sure about
he's
that?
trying to say this, my friend.
So did he bring the stuff of hers over to leave it?
No, it's just stuff that was here. Like
Okay.
But he's got a ute. It could have all fit in his. He could have fit it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, I just feel like it's an end because he thinks that we're still friends, and he says that I'll never get rid of him or Mia. I'm like, that's ominous.
Yeah.
So, but I'm actually staying at my best friend's house at the moment, and it's a good because I actually was going to call off everyone coming this week. I was going to fully hermit. I was going to go into depression mode. But I called my mate and said, to cancel the support people, and she said, don't do that because you need people this week. Because I've got this thing coming up with Angel as well, my daughter, with the government, which I think is what's making it so hard. Yeah, I've got to fight the government for a debt they said I have because my daughter said some dates wrong or something. So that's coming up. I'm doing a tribunal this week for it. So I have to talk about my daughter and what she's done. And having to talk about that. Like, I don't think I would have taken the Mia thing so hard if that wasn't this week.
Okay.
Like, I probably would have because I've spoken about it with my counsellor. And the reason why I'm taking it so hard is because it's related to age. Sorry, I can't breathe. When I think of my daughter, I can't breathe.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Cosmic.
I'm really happy that they said don't cancel people. I'm really, really happy that they said that. Because you need people right now. You really, really do. It's not easy just dealing with the ex-housemate and all of that. Now you have to try and deal with something even closer to your heart.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I think that's what's making everything so difficult, is because I've been waiting for this for so long, for it to be over.
Yeah.
And if they decide, like, if they still want to fight me on it, I have to keep fighting, because I refuse. One, I can't let my daughter get away with this, and two, the government shouldn't be like this to people with disabilities. You know, they're punishing me because I have a disability. They're punishing her because she's got a disability.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But it's stressful. I think
Yeah.
I'm under a lot of stress. But the good thing is that I went to Mel's and there's a whole bunch of kids there, and I'm Auntie Pretty. So
Good.
It just reminds me that just because I may have lost one child in my life, but I've got so many others that, you know, it still hurts, but I still I'm still loved. So it's okay. And I know Mia loves me. It's not her fault.
No, poor baby.
So,
Hey.
yeah. Hi. Crying again. Woo.
Oh, it's okay.
So everybody's having a day. Everybody, it seems like.
What's with that?
Yeah.
What's with that?
Yeah. What is with that?
I'm all right, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Must be
sorry
some
though.
Mercury
I am
thing.
sorry though. That's
Hi,
hard.
Christy.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I came to the realization I have to stop trying to make him understand how much he's hurt me, because he's never going to get it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a hard
there's
realization.
not going to be any closure. Yeah.
Right.
That's a hard
Because
one
I
to
just
get
wanted
over.
Yeah. I guess because I'm very justice based. I'm not sure if that's me or if it's an autism thing. Apparently, it's quite autism. People are quite based in justice. So if we feel like we've been wronged, it's something that sits with us for a very long time.
Mhm.
So I'm only just now coming to terms with you can't always get an answer from people who don't even know why they're doing it themselves.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's right.
So, no closure here.
You know, and even if they know they're doing it, they're not going to give you closure either.
No.
No, because that's when you have to admit you've done something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I find so easy. I find it easy to admit when I'm wrong.
Right.
If when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. And
Mhm.
that's one of the things people seem to like about me, is that, if I admit when I'm wrong. But I have to be proven wrong. So prove me wrong. So, yeah.
That's the feeling
So
that
what's
I.
happening with the donkey? No,
Sorry?
no, I was just going to ask about the donkey.
Oh, he's the bane of my existence today. Let's just put it that way. We tried him in a different pasture with different animals, and it was a disaster. And I had to just we just have to get through the day, because they're, trying to get him back with the other animals right now while the other animals are out. That could even be a bigger fiasco. So,
Yeah. Have you ever seen those balls, those big balls they get horses and they play with them?
oh, you know what? The puppies popped all my balls, but that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Because I've seen they have to be quite large so they don't hurt themselves. Because
Yeah.
I've seen dogs jump on them and then they fly off, and like, well, there's a vet bull. But yeah, because that's really cool, and it's also something that would be like a viral thing as well, because I love watching anything to do with animals. So especially if it's cute.
Yes.
So, and I've watched cows play with those balls, and they put
Right.
these special covers on them. They put these special covers on them so they don't pop as easy. So they're awesome, and they look like big soccer balls. So
That sounds wonderful.
I was thinking those really lightweight floaty balls.
oh yeah,
Because
those
they
two.
make big ones of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They make
That'd
specific
be cool.
corn balls you can get at a farm and ranch store. They have specific ones for different sizes
Okay.
that are made specifically for that.
Okay.
You know, just since your donkey is a donkey, just make sure he doesn't use it as a weapon.
You end up being whacked in the head by a ball.
Yeah.
Carol goes out and is like, "Stop using your ball as a weapon."
Chewing on her leg, she's not a chicken. You know, stop using your ball as a weapon.
Ms. D, a new diagnosis and you're struggling. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Is there
Let us know if there's
anything
anything we can do.
Yeah, or anything you want to share?
New diagnoses are sometimes so hard because you finally get everything going with the old ones, and then the new ones just add on top of that, and it just puts in a whole new wrinkle.
Yeah. Well, and you have to, you know, everything has to get going, and that's
It's a lifelong diagnosis. Oh no. Oh, Ms. D, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I missed. What was the diagnosis?
She's not sad, and it's okay.
Okay.
She's just saying it's
Sorry,
lifelong.
Miss D.
Lifelong
okay.
diagnosis. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Yes. Anyway, I just want to show you all what life happened here in the last 3 days. 3 days. Can I turn my camera around?
Now, where
I
are
don't
you
know.
again? Remind me.
In Canada,
Okay.
in a province called Saskatchewan. So we're basically straight north of North Dakota.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put on some shoes.
I followed a
And
band from Winnipeg to Regina, so.
Okay, so yeah, we're 2.5 hours north of Regina.
Okay.
In other words, you saw the flattest area of the country.
Of course
Of
I did.
course. Okay, so I'm going to take you outside and show you behind me.
Oh my word.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh.
that 3 days.
Bless.
3.
Wow.
So yeah, the stump you see in the middle there, that's a 5-foot high stump.
Woo.
Oh gosh.
So
Sandy
Oh my
Wendy says,
goodness.
wow, that is paradise.
Well, it's
just thought I'd
perfect.
throw that in there for you.
Yeah, thank you. Ooh.
Yeah, that looks cold. That looks cold. We were 13 degrees here today, so, and I'm
Oh, are
in,
you?
I'm close to Montreal. I'm a little bit east of Montreal, about a half hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, my daughter lives in Windsor, and it's usually really nice there. But no, here, and actually just got a notification from Alexa that it's going to be extreme cold warning for the next 3 days.
Good.
So,
All right. I'll check up on my friends in Winnipeg then. See how it's going.
Good idea. Good idea.
Did you get everything that you needed? Did you get everything that you need for the 3 days that it's going to be snowing a lot?
Oh, no. The snow has finished. Now it's just going to be cold.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huckleberry's
Okay.
old cabin in Tahoe is buried completely to the eaves of the roof.
Oh,
Mhm.
I've seen pictures
Gosh.
of Donner Pass in Tahoe. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
That's no joke.
That is no
pass,
joke. Yeah.
when we went over it, I thought, I didn't realize it was a lot more serious than it was because I grew up in Colorado.
Scary.
I was like, how
Mhm.
big can it, you know, how much of a mountain pass can this really be? Yeah, y'all, it's a mountain pass. I should have
Pretty sure
known
nowhere in Australia got snow.
Yeah.
No.
Pretty sure.
Do you guys get snow there, Cosmic?
Yeah. We have
Okay.
like Mount Kosciuszko, and I'm pretty sure there's places down in Victoria that's got snow and stuff. I haven't seen it in Australia, so you know, as far as I'm aware, they're probably lying about that too. So who knows? But yeah, no, we had like actually quite a few years ago now. I was quite young. There was a dude who was trapped in a snowstorm thing for days and days and days in I think must have been Victoria. I think it was Perisher, and yeah, everybody died except for
Oh
him. Yeah,
no.
everybody died except for him. So it was pretty amazing, really. So we do have snow. That must be real. So
It must be.
it was pretty.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
Yeah, and when
thousands
you're
checking their cars. Wow.
yeah. So and even this is a you know a indication of the way media and people are. They're even saying that it was not real or something like that, and he only did it for a story. And I just think, okay, so he lost his partner and all these other people died and just for a story. It's like that the Sandy Hook thing, to saying it
yeah,
didn't happen, or
yeah.
it's like what sort of benefit does someone get from lying about that sort of stuff? I don't understand it.
Right.
I don't
So I
know.
don't know why they would think that, people would go around lying about tragedies like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Right.
documented tragedies even,
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
I think
It
that's
is.
like the worst, and the worst kind of gaslighting would be to have someone say that your child never existed and what you went through with your children or a situation didn't happen.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's just sick in the mind.
Yeah.
That's a whole other level of
Mhm.
sick and twisted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was actually wondering if it's always been happening, and only now is it more we only notice, and it's spreading more because we have a better means of communication with people. So these people who have these ideas can then go and spark the idea in somebody else's head, and then it spreads.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where the new flat earther thing came from. It came from a practical joke.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great.
it was a practical joke. And here I am. My kid's dad thinks that it's real. I'm like, dude, you're falling for a joke.
Oh my goodness.
It's just, yeah.
Your mind searches for answers. Somebody told me this. Did I hear it here? Maybe I'm not sure, but that your mind searches for answers, and until
Yeah,
it
you
gets
ask the mind a question and it
yeah,
has to answer.
yes, and so you
The
get
mind just will not let it go.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so you get these conspiracy theorists of people who, whether they end up true or not true, because in the States, we had a lot of conspiracy theories around UFOs and aliens in Area 51, and nobody, like half the people were, yes, it's true, half the people were, no, it's not. And then the government finally came out and said, by the way, yeah, it is true. So, I mean, you can take things, and I think people just run with it. And but it's amazing. But something like that, where it's a tragedy with children, is completely different than a UFO situation, and it's
Yeah.
just so,
Oh.
it's I don't understand it.
There
No, I
is
don't
no
understand.
comprehension for that. There is no understanding that. First of
There is
all,
none.
No.
Yeah.
life doesn't guarantee you answers to questions. I mean, that's just the way it
That's
is.
true.
Sometimes
That's
there are
true.
no answers to things.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
Where
true.
did we originate? We don't know,
Mhm.
And secondly, as
Yeah.
far, I just want to say this because this really irked me. I saw on television, which I don't watch, and I don't even know why it was on that day. It was months back, and the children from Sandy Hook that had grown up were going to fight against the gun laws and to have these restrictions on these kind of guns being in the public.
Mhm.
And one of the I think she's a congresswoman. I don't know what she is. She's insane in my opinion. Uh Marjorie Green, was right behind this young man, okay? And like, to me, assaulting him and saying, why are you doing this? Why are you lying and making up stories about this? And I thought to myself, this kid's parents aren't there. You know what I mean? Next to him. Because if I was a parent, I would have not, I don't even want to say what I would have done, okay? But
You're from the Bronx.
she would not, she would not have, it would not have been acceptable behavior for her to follow and assault my son in that way.
Yeah.
I would not have allowed it.
Yeah.
And these are people that are in positions of power.
I know that.
Well, I
They've
don't.
got their own children.
That's the
They've
crazy
got
part.
children
That's
of their
just-
own.
Okay.
It's amazing.
What'd you say,
because
Cosmic?
they've got their own children, and they think that it's okay to treat children that way. Because there was someone else. She followed some kid too. I don't think it was from the same incident, but she followed him, and behind him, she was walking behind him, like, and it was filmed. I don't know. I don't think it was recent. It might have been a couple of years ago. And she's just berating this child. I'm just thinking, well, how would you feel if someone was doing that to your child about anything?
Right. About anything. Right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm perfectly happy if someone sees my kid do the wrong thing, sure, tell them off. Because that's what, part of being a community is about. It takes a village to raise children, and my kids don't listen to me anyway. So I need someone else to tell them that they're doing the wrong thing. But, it's just like, I just can't understand how someone with children can just be like that to other people's children. Because I would, there's been times I've known my kids done the wrong thing, and I will back them even though I know they're in the wrong, because this person comes at me, yells at me, attacks me, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care if they did the wrong thing. Maybe you deserved it, in my head. And then so I'm like, no, my kid probably didn't do that. It's fine, or I'll excuse it for them. But only ever if they attack my children first. Otherwise, my kids have to face the consequences. So, don't come at me about my children.
Yeah, it's confusing to me.
And this was such and for such a horrible, horrible thing for them to go through. Life changing. I mean, their lives are completely changed forever. And it's a trauma. And how dare you ostracise and berate my child?
Gaslight.
To fill what? A fantasy. Yes, gaslight. Absolutely, Carol.
Yeah.
For your own self-grandizement? Absolutely not.
Right.
Unacceptable behavior.
So
It is. It's unacceptable.
If you think about it, it's one of the worst kinds of traumas out there. To see
Absolutely.
somebody walk in to a school and do what was done, in a very mild-mannered school, and it's always such a difficult thing. And I don't, Cosmic, I wish we had answers like that, but we don't. It's just the wrong people are put in power. My guess, if I had to guess, it was probably an election year, and she was probably trying to save her seat. I don't remember when it was, so I can't say that's what it was or anything like that. But it's really known here in America that a lot of our congressmen and women legislatures, lobbyists pay for them to do all kinds of things. So,
and that's on both sides. You'll find lobbyists pay both sides as well.
Oh yeah. And so, if she was a lobbyist for something else, or someone was lobbying her, it's amazing what money can make people do. And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying.
Yeah. In the end, you've got to think that it all does come down to money, because even like in politics in Australia, politics in New Zealand, like in New Zealand, they were going to make it illegal for you to start smoking if you were born from, I don't know, next year, ever. It was going to be forever illegal for you to buy cigarettes from, if you're born from 2030 or 2028, I don't know. And then the government changed, because that was Jacinda Ardern. Everyone loved her. Wow. people who are sensible. And then so she left to have a child, got married, blah, blah, blah. The new government comes in, cancels that, and they flat out said it's because they needed the tax revenue that they got from smoking cigarettes. So they'd rather people die, you know, immeasurable health costs in the end, you know, for a small amount of money now, later it's going to cost a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
So you just think, and it's all about the money, you know. They would rather people die so they get more money than do the right thing. And that's,
Yes,
I think that's across the board.
that's got to change. The money aspect of it has got to change.
I don't think
I
it ever will, you know, because
There
we
is no
have
excuse
very
for that
strict,
behavior. None.
yeah, we have very different laws as far as funding here. But the thing is, because we have different laws, it's done in different ways. So instead of it being like, this is a, you know, donation to your party or whatever, they'll give them a holiday, or you know, they'll do what they do over to that Supreme Court justice you've got over there who likes yachts and mates. so
Yeah.
but that's what it is, you know. Give them a little, they'll take it all.
And what makes me the saddest is that schools are supposed to be a safe place. Now this is happening to them, and they have to finish their education thinking that another gunman's going to come in the door.
Well, I wanted to address what Huckleberry said about the mom who couldn't buy the shoes, because the light up shoes.
Yeah.
You guys, I remember when my kids went to school and they told me that they would have active pew 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 drills. My mind was so blown. I went home. I'd never cried so hard in my life. I called my mom and I was like, do you know what my kids have to go through? And here's the thing. So, you know, I think most of you know by now, I grew up on a ranch. Okay. I'm a cowgirl from way back. That's just a certain kind of lifestyle. We were taught respect for guns. I grew up shooting, I grew up hunting, I grew up doing those things. All right. And so my kids as such were always around those things. Now they were locked in a safe in a room under lock and key that the kids could not get into. So it was very protected. But for me, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying to know that my kids had to learn at, you know, in kindergarten. They started it in kindergarten, how to be that quiet and how to protect themselves. I mean, I literally just bawled. And the thing was, I was living in Colorado when Columbine happened. Like I seen that. All right. So I was in Fort Collins. Columbine happened in Denver. It's about an hour away. And no one knew the trajectory that was going to have. And you know, and then now, you know, my grandkids are being taught drills different than my kids were taught. Like all of my kids were taught those drills. I was never taught that. I was taught go in the hallway, put a book over your head if the tornado siren goes off, and pieces for lunch. Like that's what I was taught. Okay, I was not taught don't talk. And you know what concerns me? My son, my grandson, Ryder, is autistic. So how does a child with that, even if they're high up on the spectrum, how do they react to that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't deal with that as my kids, like, how do you get those children that have these amazing superpowers? How do you get that through to them? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it just is
Yeah,
so heartbreaking to me. And I don't
it
think any
is.
parent should ever be afraid to send their child to school. Like, you know,
Well, see, the thing is, I couldn't imagine. The thing, I think the worst thing I ever thought about with my kids going to school was, you know, sometimes people go into schools and hurt children. That was like, you know, but they can't hurt them on a mass scale because generally we don't have access to assault rifles at all. You know, I don't think it's possible to get them here unless you're in the military or something like that. But we've got like other weapons, I guess. They come in anyway. Like we've got more guns here now than what we ever did before the restrictions. So, but we still don't have massacres. So you can't say that, you know, reducing the number of guns therefore reduces the massacres, because our guns have actually increased the amount, the registered guns anyway. So it's just, I can't fathom having to teach my kids to be scared at school that someone's going to come and hurt them.
And you do, you know,
Yeah.
you do, you have to. And here's the thing. And this was, I was watching a program, or well, it was a podcast that you could watch. And for the first time ever, there was a mass school situation where people passed. I'm trying not to say any trigger words for the for YouTube. And the thing was, the child had been showing signs of doing this. The school had actually intervened several times. The parents had been called. There were like disturbing drawings done and everything like that. It ended up this person actually unalived people, and the parents got charged and convicted because they did nothing to stop it. They bought him the firearm.
Right.
And the ammunition, and they're reading text messages between the mom and the son. The son was talking about buying ammo, and the mom's like,
Was that
"Don't get
recently?
caught."
The parents only recently.
Yeah, that was fairly recently.
Yeah, it was fairly recent. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's the first time that's ever happened. And for me,
I think that should be happening.
It
Because
should be.
I'm not. Yeah, maybe not. Because if a child can access weapons, then you're not having them locked up safely in your house.
Right.
So
well, yes,
that's not responsible gun ownership.
Here's the thing too, and I think this is where we've gotten a little off track. You know, when I was young, my dad, made it very clear to us kids, me and my brother, that I'm responsible for you until you're 18. So whatever crazy, messed up hoodlums shenanigans you get into, they can come after me for that. So y'all better lock it down. And that's how I was with my kids. I'm like, mama ain't doing time for you. I'm sorry. I love you, but not that much. And so, right. But we've gotten away from that, from the responsibility of the parents to their, to their children. Now, in this case, I think the child did have some mental issues, and sometimes that's the case and sometimes it's not. But it goes back to, if you can't be responsible with something, don't have access to it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like I'm all for it. Like I said, I grew up hunting. I mean, I know where my food comes from, and but I'm all for waiting time. And if you've got to go through a psyche valve to buy a weapon, great, do it.
Yeah.
We're not saying that you can't have them. We're saying that you got to prove to us that you are of sound mind and body to own that.
Yeah,
and that goes for the police.
I mean, if we can have those parameters for driver's licenses and things, and ownership of a car.
Yeah.
How much more should it be in place for something like that?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they've also got to have a registry that's all around the country. I think that's one of the most important things, because if you don't, if it's not all combined, then someone can go from state to state to state to state and have as many as they want.
There is a nationwide registry. You do have to go through a federal background check, and it is registered. The problem is when you get someone who can't own one and someone else goes and buys it for them. And on that form, you're supposed to mark, are you buying this for someone else? Well, of course, no one does. I mean, there's always black market, But it's so, like, there just needs to be more education, more understanding, more rules in place. I mean, our children should never suffer for a constitutional right that we have. You know what I mean? When our
That's
children
right.
start
That's
when our
right.
children start suffering for our rights, we have dropped the ball and messed up profusely.
Yeah.
And that's where that comes in. And I'm not trying to get off on some tangent, but I don't want children going to school scared. I don't want
I don't
parents
either.
scared. I don't want grandparents scared. I don't want children to have to know what a safe room is and how to be quiet because they could get unalived at school. I don't think that that's
They've
right.
got enough to worry about, I reckon. School's hard enough.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like I want the parents to worry about, like, is my kid doing well enough in school they can have a part-time job, or do we focus on school and we'll give them an allowance? You know what I mean? Like, that should be it. Worrying about
Yeah.
who to cheer for at the football game or the bonfire
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever dumb thing we all did in high school. Like, it makes me so sad. It really does. And I know it's not going to get better. And I know we can't go back. And I know that nobody has hard and fast answers. But man, I really wish that somebody somewhere would just stand up and say, look, I don't know it, but we can do better and let's figure it out.
Yeah.
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 And the thing
And I
is, the
think
children
that would
Instead
be
of acting like they know exactly what the right thing is and doing nothing.
Yeah. And
And
you
Jay
also
and I-
got to think that a lot of the children, like the children who are going to school now, who are scared, they're the ones who are actually pushing. I'm sure there's people as well, but they're the ones who are going and standing up saying, I'm scared, make us safe. And then something happens and they're like, yeah, we're still not safe. And like, no one's listening to the children. And you got to wonder, is that what makes people grow up to be bitter, because they weren't listened to as children?
Yeah.
And then they think, oh, well, we weren't listened to, so we're going to do the same thing to our kids. Kids should just be seen and not heard.
Michael and I were talking about this last night, and it was people who have not great parents either grow up to be better parents than they had because they know what it was like, or they continue on in the cycle. People who had good parents try to continue on in the cycle, but I think you do what you know. But I think really, I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, there was that, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? My parents had to be reminded to check on us. Okay. Like, now we were always with my parents, but as a society, they was like, hey, do you know what your kids are up to right now? And I think that
We didn't have that.
It went too far the other way. Did you say you had that?
We didn't have that.
Oh, we had
we
that. And you had actors and actresses that would come on, and it was like a whole bunch. It took up your whole computer screen, and it was like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a real thing, and it was hilarious.
We just had a little Kiwi go up and turn the lights out, and that's the time we had to go to bed as a kid. That's what happened in New Zealand. So, you know what? And to this day, I still don't know if TV still worked after that, because I always went to bed. and I was still a kid when I left New Zealand. I have to ask someone if TV still worked after that.
Now, I do remember at midnight, the TV would change colors. It would go from a screen, so it would be like red and green and blue and black.
Yeah.
And it, and it would do
Oh, yeah.
that. And
remember
and
that.
you would always sign off with the like
Pledge of Allegiance. I remember.
The Pledge of Allegiance or the national
think
anthem. It was something.
It's okay to be left.
Yeah, it was something, and then it would go to a black screen. Yep.
Yes, yeah. I remember it was something like that. And I remember learning that in school, the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't think that my kids could even tell you that if somebody said, I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
I really don't
I think I know the first bit. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
And then
My granddaughter learned it, and she's 5. And she was saying it to me. She was telling it to me. And she says, for witches dance. One nation under God, for witches dance. Because that's the way she, interpreted it. So I thought to myself, that's it. That's the line from now on. For witches dance. Forever, Carol.
That's cute. The only time I ever think any sort of pledge or, thing that's done by rote is when the kids do it. Then you're like, oh, look at that. They learned something. But when adults do it, you're like, oh, you're weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna record him coming home one day.
Yes, you should, because he looks like he gets mauled.
Don't let Shitty Kitty out. We could be chasing the cat down the hall. She has a little bell, so we can hear her. So that's fine.
I feel like with this hotel, you could just call the front desk and be like, "Cat is on the loose," and like all of the staff would come.
Everybody, red alert.
Talkie burgers. Yeah. Asperger's. Sorry.
Oh, that was good, Cosmic. You're so funny.
I used to call it Asperger's. I got Asperger's.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
Okay.
You guys are great.
I feel much better after coming on here. Me and my son had a disagreement this morning as well. Pretty kids.
Aw, I'm sorry.
He was just stressed. I was stressed because he was running late, and it feels like I've got a job getting him to work. So I'm like, it doesn't seem right that I'm the one stressing if he gets to work or not when I don't even have the job.
Right, exactly.
But I'm a mum. I think
Is there decent public transportation?
None at all. But my mate's going to start teaching him to drive. So
Okay.
she's just got her car sorted out, fixed. So because I can't teach anyone anything because except for computers. I have infinite patience for people with computers, especially old people, because it's hilarious. So the more they get it wrong, the funnier I think it is, and the more I want to do it. So, but teaching anyone anything else, I don't have the patience.
Okay.
I'm like, if I can do it, why can't you? Because I am silly.
Yeah, not helpful.
I know, right? So that's why I'm like, we should teach.
Somebody else should teach him then, just to be safe.
I think the most difficult we had was when Michael was teaching my oldest daughter how to drive a stick shift. She lost it, started crying. Where were we? On the hill, going up the mountain, going up the reservoir that overlooks everything. And he's like, "You can do it." And then now she'll drive as a stick shift. But man, teaching her, she had a couple serious meltdowns, and she's like, "Why do I need to do this?" And I said, "Because if you ever have to leave and the only car available to you is a stick shift, I want you to be able to get out." And she's like, "You're really smart." And I'm like, "No, my dad told me that. I'm not really smart. I'm repeating what he said."
Yeah. See, I don't know how to drive I can't drive a manual because I'm not coordinated enough. So I'm just there going, I'll be like, okay, driving. Oh, hang on, no, this way. Because I'm straight.
Get really nervous when I was learning how to drive a stick and people would get behind me and I was on a little bit of an incline. I'd be like, no, don't get too close, I'm gonna hit you. So I would always gun it and I'd be like,
and we do have lots of trains. Where the public transport system is, it works really well. But we've only got one way into town, and even to get to the town closest, we have to go like an hour to a different town to catch a bus back to a town that's only like 5 minutes drive-ish away from here.
Oh,
so yeah, it's because this is a new estate. Public transport's not great, but we're going to have our own train station, all that sort of stuff here eventually. But that might not be till
Doesn't help you today. Yeah.
No. Yeah. So yeah. But as far back to driving manual, I I think I had a Golf, like a 1980 Golf, Volkswagen Golf, and I couldn't drive it. I couldn't go forward or backwards. I would be like, dunk or dunk. It stalled every time. I just couldn't get it. So,
I'm jumping into the chat. I'll see you
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
bye.
All right,
Love you,
honey.
Henny.
Love you too.
Bye, honey.
Bye. See you in the chat.
I come home and he's feeding the dog salamis and crackers and cheese.
oh, you might pay for that later.
He might have missed having them around all the time. He's like, here, I can get you back.
He did. And they missed him. So, they
It should be legal everywhere, Sandy Wendy.
Now you know why I'm the favorite.
Oh, goodness.
I have to get going because I've got some things I've got to do, but I'll keep listening just in case you do the meditation. So yeah. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see
Love you
you
too.
hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, love you, bye, and thank you because I always feel better after coming here. So
Good.
Good. Well, we feel
Yeah.
better after seeing your pretty face.
oh, thanks. I'm
I'm happy I can see
I'll
your figure
always try
now.
and do this properly. yeah. All right. Click. Hang on, it's not working.
It's not working. I know that feeling. It's like I say bye, and 5 minutes later I disappear.
Right.
Pretty
Right.
much.
I know. You're like, you just gotta keep smiling. You're like, So
The first couple of times, I'm pretty sure I had like an angry face trying to like press the button. I'm like, oh no, people can still see me.
right. Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up on reading all of this here.
Yeah.
I'm just on my phone, so I can't see any of the chat.
Mhm.
And when I touch the screen, I can't see any of the buttons at the bottom. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit here and grin,
There you go.
smile and nod.
Smile and nod. We can read
Yep.
the important ones.
I'm so,
they're all.
I'm so glad you failed at that, Kenneth.
Yeah, I am too. That's
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you made that decision too. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
I agree.
Yeah.
My
and there
goodness.
will always be mean people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's difficult.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I probably should make sure everything's alive out there.
yes, absolutely. Well, and I think my free laundry is finally done drying.
Yay! Free laundry.
Oh
That
my
quarter
gosh.
situation was traumatizing.
It was. Yeah. And you had to drive to the truck stop 30 minutes away to get quarters.
To
It's
get
ridiculous.
stupid quarters. That's
To
just
get quarters.
it
And then
makes no
you need
sense.
quarters everywhere to park. All of the places downtown are all like parking meters. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like they want you to pay the quarters, but nobody gives you the quarters. Tell you what, I'm going to start selling quarters.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be like, do you need quarters?
Matrix.
Quarters.
Matrix, I'm glad you're still here. My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I've been driven pretty close. Pretty close. I understand how a person can get there.
Yes.
And it's always a win when somebody does not take that step.
Yes.
You know, you're good people and the world is one. Some good people, and I know it's hard, but I'm glad you're here. So
The world's
glad.
just not easy on us sometimes.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not depression that'll get you. It's the lack of hope. The lack of hope that anything will ever get better.
That's
And You need to know that there is hope and it will get better. You may not see it right away. And that's the hard part is, will I live long enough to see it? And that's the really rough part.
Yeah.
Matrix, still have thoughts, but I know better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that it's hard not to have those thoughts sometimes, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but I meant to
I bet.
here. Hello.
Hello.
Hola,
Hola,
Hello.
¿cómo estás?
Don't let your
taco, enchilada, por favor, ese veto. Yeah.
¿Dónde el baño?
I'm glad you know
Oh,
better,
God.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Because
few months ago.
it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And even if the
Yeah.
problem is persistent, it's still temporary.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I was having ideation, and even though the actual desire wasn't there, the thoughts would keep running through my head. And I went to my doctor. They checked my thyroid. My thyroid was low.
Oh.
And I went to my psychiatrist and said, okay, this is what happened. This is the physicality of what had happened. She's like, that's exactly where it is from. So in that case, like I have bipolar type 2, I have ADHD, PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder. I've got a whole alphabet behind my name that has nothing to do with PhD. And so I see my psychiatrist on the regular. And she's like, no, you still do need to check out your physical, like your blood work, to make sure that it's not simply your brain being naughty, right?
Okay.
So please get a test done, talk to your doctor, talk to your GP, because it might just be simply that you have chemistry somewhere in your body not working well.
Sure.
Yeah. This is the cycle that I'm like determined to break with both my kids. I'm happy I can say I'm breaking it with my daughter, is the stigma behind mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just because I've already lost a family member to it, and I'm not gonna chance one of my kids. No.
That's right. Yeah, no, since 2011, I've been talking with the Schizophrenia Society of Saskatchewan. I go and do presentations with them and talk about my journey with bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And so it's something that I've been doing for a while now. And my kids have grown up knowing this isn't a death sentence to have a mental illness. It is simply something that needs medication, just like the diabetes that I also have. Right?
Right. That's
so
good.
And then
that is such a good way to raise them to be aware that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I am going to have to pop off. I hate to do it right in the middle of such a serious thing, but I do have to go down. I've got to make sure everybody else can use the laundry too. So I will see you guys all tomorrow, though. It was so good to see you all, and I'm glad you're all here. I love seeing your faces and you in the comments.
Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Have a great night. Yeah.
That's all I had.
Yeah, you know,
Ben, I don't know.
I really love that we can be comfortable talking about these things here.
Yeah.
You know, and just to show that, you know, it doesn't have to be an uncomfortable conversation.
No.
It can be just a conversation. And the more and the less it's hidden in the dark, who knows, maybe the more lives will save.
Yeah.
Well, the conversation has really changed from 20-something years ago when I was first diagnosed to now. And even from 10 years before I was diagnosed to when I was diagnosed to now, the conversation has just exploded. Like there's whole advertising campaigns talking about mental health and positive mental health and doing things positive for your mental health and all of that. And that's where I am so grateful that the conversation has changed, and so it should.
It really,
It
really
absolutely
has.
should. Yeah.
That was the thing you guys were talking about, not PTSD, ADHD. When that was first brought up for a long time, they'd bring up ADHD, and you always had ADHD mentioned, and would always followed by Ritalin, always. And that's how morons, nice people like what was that guy's name? Short actor, really short. Oh, come on,
Danny DeVito.
Thinks he's a pilot. Tom Cruise.
Oh, little Tommy. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Space. Little Tommy.
Yes.
He would get on and just berate. He just berated.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah. Oh, that was
that was.
You're so glib.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. And just to blindly paint all psychiatry as evil Nazis.
That's what his religion does.
Yeah. And that really didn't help matters when you have actors at that time who still had some. I mean, maybe he still has a little bit of prestige, but nowhere near the amount he did. When you had him coming out, then of course you had, admittedly, a lot of doctors, they didn't understand things, and they were, just easy fix. They wanted to get stuff off of their table onto somebody else's table. Here's a drug. Have you thought about, also speaking to a counselor? Have you thought about, how your brain works and how you can use it and things like that? No. Ritalin. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm on 6 or 7 different psych meds, as well as a number of other meds for other medical issues. And my body just no longer does side effects because it's like everything's going on, so everything's going to change. And but you do have to be careful, though, with the side effects that you're taking. Like Ritalin is straight up, straight down. Yeah. So I'm on a different drug that's the same base as Ritalin, but it's a much gentler slope. And that has made all the difference for me. I can actually make lists now. There's no way I could have done that 2 years ago.
Wow.
Well, and that's honestly, I have hormones, same thing. They do all sorts of things, and it's kind of exciting that it's being taken seriously now, because some people need different things. Some people need all that because their brain got, it's just not producing chemicals and things like that. Other people, to give somebody who doesn't have the same problem the same treatment, can do a lot of harm.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And then now we're having conversations like some people with fibromyalgia. Turns out it's caused apparently by what's that called? A lot of times it's caused by iodine deficiency. Some people can take iodine, not all.
Right.
Certainly not all. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of people wish it was that easy. But the lovely doctor I went to for a while, he told my significant other that, you're just imagining it. No, it's not that bad. It's like, this is back in 2003-ish. And even at that point, medicine had recognized it as an actual disease. But you have some people out there just not helping McFly,
Yeah.
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 I have to read this one out loud because it's so good. A Rolling Stone says people who get their mental health advice from actors probably have more than one screw loose. That is
Definitely.
right. Yes.
No, I'm grateful that the conversation has changed. I lost my mother to unaliving when I was a child. And the conversation wasn't happening then. And that was early 90s. It just wasn't happening. There wasn't that many medications that were recognized or even effective. What was it that she was told was worth prescribing?
That's right.
That's what she was told at one point. So, but at the same time, going back through some of the information that I have, I don't think that she was, at the time it was manic depressive is what they called her.
Yeah.
And then that diagnosis had changed to bipolar, if I'm not mistaken. Like they had added that in, but I don't even think she was that. Understanding who, like, a little bit more and more of who she was, I don't even think it was that. So I think the conversations need to keep happening so that we can keep pushing doctors and we can keep pushing the pharmaceutical companies to actually come up with better and better solutions.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I think anything happens.
Yeah.
Borderline personality disorder frequently gets mistaken for bipolar for a long time. And then when they find that the person doesn't have manic episodes, or for me, hypomanic, so not quite past the psychotic line, but still really high ego, high energy, high all of that stuff. And somebody with borderline personality won't go up to that height. They will simply have a lot of really, really, really big mood changes, but not high. Like they'll go down into depression pretty good, but they won't have the same type of issues. As well, self-harm is a real big thing with borderline personality and not bipolar.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My
conversations need to keep happening.
Well, on Mondays, I have mental health Mondays. So I do like a 5-minute little PSA kind of thing on, this is what this is. This is what this is. I've only had 4 of them so far, but yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm going to go because my headphones are going to die.
Okay.
Oh.
Good to see you, Kim.
Bye.
Thank you for popping in.
Good to see you, Kimmy. Officially, my bird's called a pain in the butt, or arse, if you want to kind of borrow a gravitas from the English. No, it's a cockatiel.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Somebody was asking.
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to have to jet here too. I didn't eat before, but I went for my long walk and I had dinner or lunch a little bit later. So food, I'm not missing too much, but I should probably get some food in.
Well, Ross Perot said, you got to eat. You don't eat, you're going to die. And that's a fact. And that was Ross Perot. He had big ears.
I should listen because,
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But I love everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday. So I'll have to probably leave a little bit early tomorrow, but I'll be back the next day.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
BPT is a lot of emotional regulation. I go from 0 to 100 in seconds. There was another one that I thought I was highlighting. Autism in women is quite often misdiagnosed as bipolar. Where is that comment? It was really important. Where is it? The discussion of autism changed as well. We need to understand how all the different brains work. What kind of bird is it? Bipolar schizophrenic has schizophrenic episodes. Haven't had one yet. Probably something else. When my sister was diagnosed with autism, my mom, this is the one, was so sad because there was no cure. Isn't that something that, she took her to numerous shrinks until someone misdiagnosed her with schizophrenia.
Oh,
Poor
gosh.
thing. I'm so sorry. Is she okay now?
Yeah, talk about treatment causing
no
damage.
cure. Like it's the end of the world. There are so many of us, nobody has to be alone in that.
Yeah.
It's so intricate is right, J9. BPD is a lot of emotional BPD is a lot of emotional regulation. I go from 0 to 100 in seconds. Wow, Crystal. And welcome. Thank you for being here. Whoo. As a fibromyalgia warrior survivor, I wish it was that easy as well. Yeah. They're just beginning to try to understand it.
Yeah, that was the most
Yeah.
frustrating thing, seeing people go through it and having them describe to you what it's like. And wow, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Schizophrenia has frequently been misdiagnosed as bipolar and vice versa. Yeah. There is no cure for mental health, just managed maintenance. You know, I feel like we're just starting to actually take it seriously and start to want to actually learn, you know. It was a mess.
Yeah,
She seems autistic, but she has a wonderful church and a wonderful husband. Well, good.
that is good to have a good support system.
Good support system is so just beyond beneficial. I'm going to dip out. Okay. My daughter was diagnosed first with onset bipolar at age 5, but the correct diagnosis was autism at 11. I am hanger. I don't know what that means. For all my neurospicy gang, you deserve to be loved and appreciated just as you are. 100%.
Well, I
All
think
right.
Matrix.
I'm gonna have to go deal with that donkey.
You give him what for? You you know who you are. You need to tell him who you are.
I love the term neurospicy too. Yes. Yeah, that is good. Yeah. So anyway,
Cool.
yeah, he's given my dog Petey a hard time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I am gonna have to dip out. I'm so sorry. I'll give the donkey a kiss when he's better. Today is not that day.
All right. Well,
Snip,
hey, you have
snip. You're right, Rolling Stone. Yeah. Good to see
you
you guys.
you have a good day
You
and a
too.
good. You make sure you just lay it down,
Yeah.
lay him out for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Lord have mercy. All
Well,
righty.
take care.
You too. Thanks, you guys. I am sorry to have to kind of cut it a little bit short, but because this is a good discussion, but I got to deal with that. I'm sorry. And I love you guys. Hope to see you again next meeting. This was a great one. And until then, y'all, peace.